Welcome to Championship Sunday, everybody, here in Seattle. This is what it all comes down to, of a full season of action and 3 days of action which are followed up here in Seattle to decide who is going to be crowned the Halo World Champion. But before we get there, of course, we've got to decide who's going to get to that final round. We start off on the elimination side of our bracket, and boy, what a game do we have on our hands. We have our defending Halo World Champions in FaZe Clan going up a team who's trying to shock the world.
Pure, an unbelievable run from them, and I tell you what, a lot of different predictions coming in this weekend. I don't know how many people had this matchup as the #1 matchup on Championship Sunday. FaZe Clan against Pure, and as you said, two very different stories for these teams, but two grueling seasons for both of them. FaZe, of course, with a series of ups and downs, one of the only two teams to win a LAN event this season. And of course, they're also here with one purpose, to defend their World Championship title. On the other side, it's Pure. What a run they had, and most notably, at the end of the evening last night, 3-0ing Shopify Rebellion to deny Shopify another top 4 placing, and instead find themselves with a guaranteed top 4 finish at the Halo World Championship. And there's only one question: can the Cinderella run continue?
Well, it's a very, very good question, and this is a series which is actually steeped in a little bit more history than maybe some people realize, considering the fact that we really haven't been talking about Pure as a team for that long a time. Think about the impact that they made at the FaZe Major a little bit earlier this season. They were the team who 3-0'd FaZe, who knocked them down, and we spoke to Taulek after. He was like, that's the best series I've ever played. Well, they're gonna have to repeat that kind of thing if they want to beat the current world champions on our main stage here in Seattle. But FaZe, they will be coming prepared. They will be ready. And if you needed an indication of just how locked in they are, take a look at the captain.
And take a look at the general here. SnakeBite, just the focus there, the intensity. If you're on the side of Pure, you don't want to go up against that. But let's also remind ourselves, as you say, a lot of history between these two. And FaZe is very well aware, to say the least, of what Pure is capable of, not just because of the talent on that side of the stage, but also because of the history. FaZe has met up with Pure 3 times this season. FaZe is 2-1 overall in series. However, it is worth noting they are 6-6 in games overall.
If you expected one-sided series here on Championship Sunday, I got a feeling that we're not going to be going down that road. And speaking of roads, like we mentioned, this is going to be an elimination matchup between these two. One of these teams will be going home, and this is our series layout. Starting off here with King of the Hill on live fire, and I tell you what, it might seem like a long way away, but with the records that these teams have, Slayer Streets might be being played a little bit earlier than you expect.
Yeah, absolutely. So take a look at some of the history between these two map records. Very important to start to break down here. Take a look, Pure 2-2 on the opening game type, 2-3 on Aquarius Slayer. And one thing I want to note here as we take a look at the records specifically, and there's a few reasons why, but games 2, 3, and 4 will be the games that we know Pure need to likely win if they want to win the series. There's a few reasons for that, but those really are going to be the focus games for Pure. It's going to be Aquarius Slayer, Argyle CTF, and Recharge Strongholds.
I think for Pure, it's send it to that game 4. Look at the map records. Even though Pure have only played Recharge Strongholds once, their overall Strongholds record, it's absolutely superb. When you compare it to the FaZe side, it's one of their most lackluster game types. Good news for FaZe, though, you would say there's no oddball in this series, which has been historically one of their weaker ones. But if Pure can send it a little bit later in that series, like you mentioned, look at that game 2, look at that game 3. If they can send it to a game 4, then, like I was kind of alluding to, we might be seeing that Street Slayer to decide who continues their run here in Seattle.
Absolutely. Even though you see losing records on both sides for Aquarius Slayer, that's still going to be a game type to watch, just because FaZe does not have a winning record on that. It's also important we should talk about games 1 and 5 while we get these players set up on the main stage. FaZe is 6-0 in game 1s here at the World Championship. They're 26-7 in game 1 overall on the year. They're #1 ranked in the HCS in game #1. They're going to be your heavy favorite for that first game. Of course, if Pure can steal that game 1, then everything just gets completely turned on its head.
And there's a very interesting conversation, just game 1 in general. Yes, you look at the stats, quite rightly you're saying FaZe, incredible record when it comes to game 1s, but when we're talking about the run that Pure went on yesterday, it was all based upon game after game, series after series, momentum being built after every single win they managed to put on the board. But now they've had to step away from that main stage. They've had a whole evening to think about this series. Can they start this series off? Can they start this Sunday off with the same kind of energy that got them to the dance today? We are ready to get into our first series here at the Halo World Championships, and wherever you are around the world watching right now, welcome as we jump in to King of the the hill on Live Fire.
So glad you're joining us here. Whether you're in the venue here in Seattle, Washington, or watching from around the world, you are exactly where you need to be here. We are underway on Championship Sunday here at the Halo World Championship. It's Pure versus FaZe. Their tournament lives on the line.
Dreams will be made and hearts will be broken. That's what Sunday is all about. At the Halo World Championships, we have defending world champions looking to go back-to-back against the team, like I mentioned, looking to shock the world in Pure. Early on here, you're going to see Druk picking that first sniper rifle up, not quite connecting with Renegade. LastShot's going to have his first individual, and he is going to win it. Look at the map presence on the map at the moment. It looks like Pure have the majority of the map to themselves, and they are getting some early time as well.
First few picks go their way, but most importantly, as you can tell, based on the map positioning, let's see if we can finish this one. Frosty should be able to close this kill out. Taulek not going to make it easy on him, though. But as you'd expect, with that green hold, it does mean that FaZe is able to get this camo, but they need to pressure. Take a look at the hill progress. Already 75% of the way done.
3 players stacked in around the hill as well. They're trying to bait this camo out. They're trying to get eyes on it. Cherished is going to chip away, and now time becomes a factor. FaZe need to go, and FaZe need to push. They will contest this hill, but Royal 2 has fallen. SnakeBite's got some fights to win at the back of green, and look at all of the bodies that are in front of Frosty, but somehow he stays alive long enough to maybe make it contestable, but in the end, it's Pure who will strike first.
A huge piece of that is Cherished eagle-eyeing the camo and Nest there. Frosty probably was going to get a free movement into green. However, Cherished just gives him one ding at Nest, and that slows down the camo push. Taulek also does well to stay alive on concrete as long as he did. It's a really nice stack of the hill coming in from Pure, and just like that, they're up 1-0.
Frosty wins his individual, immediately going to be traded out. Another fight going down in and around the key door. It's going to be Renegade who makes that his own. Renegade, you would say by his own standards, had a few moments yesterday which were positive, but didn't take over many games in the series like he would want to. Maybe he's just saving it for a Sunday, which is, of course, the best way to save it for. Half of the hill almost already collected, eaten up here by FaZe. They're looking to answer back almost immediately.
Yeah, FaZe entering back right away, as you say. If the double comes in here, those kills are traded out. It's a 2v2 on the map, but it will continue to be FaZe holding, most importantly, the back of the tower.
Most importantly here as well, SnakeBite got his kill in and around the hill, so they can step back into that hill now, FaZe. You saw Frosty had the location of where Druk was as well and got some damage, which means that he won't be able to push. He follows up on the damage by taking him down. So first pick on this next hill will go to FaZe as well. With the camo coming up, you feel like FaZe might be about to lock this one down.
Yeah, Pure's going to let this one go. They're going to now focus on camo. They're going to stack some here in cuts early to see if they can get that presence on camo. Of course, we have to mention during all that scuffle, and will be FaZe taking that hill, but now it's all about the camo. Can Druk stay alive? Looks like no. The pressure's coming in too strong. This should be 4-10.
Frosty gets 2, contributes to the 3rd, and almost gets the 4th as well. Fantastic prioritization there from Frosty to make sure that the damage did not get away without being cleaned up. And now look at him go. I mean, SnakeBite's on the flank. There's a sneaky little Druk playing that corner. Well, it doesn't cost FaZe too much. They will have 2 kills to their name. Last 2 players are at the back of green.
SnakeBite in a lot of trouble here in a 1v2. A lot of progress already on this 3rd hill as well for FaZe. They're already 50% of the way done, and just as quickly as we thought Pure was out to an early lead, FaZe has turned that on its head, and Renegade starting to heat up here on Championship Sunday.
Renegade in some bodies at the moment. Another player bomb. Oh, Renegade! The alarm clock is going to go off in about 8 seconds for that play as Renegade starts off well.
How about that? As nonchalant as they come as well. No change in the facial expression. Look at the progress on the hill as well. FaZe is going to now get your 3rd hill. They lead 2-1 just like that. And a brilliant Sitters the Hills to come back now and take the lead in the game.
It's been dominance, complete and utter dominance of the map. Hills, kills, all starting to stack up in the favor of FaZe as they will turn this game on its head and go up 2-1. Still a few bullets to play with, 3 in total for Renegade with this sniper, which is why he's just playing to try and find a pick. There is that pick. Taulek, no idea where Renegade was, completely lost the location of Renegade, and he makes him pay for it.
And now you can't even track Renegade without the QT. How about this? Now he's got a QT as well. They just betray Frosty there. Unlucky brainer there. I had to double check the feed and my screen. He's hitting everything that moves, so be careful. Friendly or foe, he's going to take him down. Finally, he trades. He'll be taken down, and that's going to slow the momentum just a bit. As entertaining as it was to watch, that will slow down the pressure and allow for Pure to just get a little bit more foothold here on C.
2 dead here on the side of FaZe. However, those numbers will be evened up almost immediately. As SnakeBite playing at the back of green will create a bit of space for FaZe to try and get a little bit of a push going. It's very tight, this next hill. And one thing just to highlight is how quick and efficient all of the hills have been so far. Usually we get to this position of back mud and You're trying to think if players are going to think about playing time. Maybe this is going to be the deciding hill, but we have over 3 minutes still left in this game, so plenty of time for Pure to get back into this.
It really is, and tied up on the 4th hill as well. This camo is going to be a big factor. It's right now a 1v2 on the map. Taulek in a 1v2 versus SnakeBite and Royal 2. SnakeBite does well to stay alive, and then pops, does not burn. Very nicely done from SnakeBite, and to be honest, after you see him winning that Objective Player of the Year award once again, that's what you expect from a player of this caliber.
We saw how focused he was just before this game got underway. Well, the focus is continuing in-game as well with this performance we're seeing in this game 1. He's 8-3 at the moment, and with this camera in his hand, gonna make it 9. Follows up with maybe a second as well. SnakeBite looks like a man on a mission here on Sunday.
There's one player you want in these high-pressure situations, and SnakeBite finally gets taken down. It's a nice pre-nade from LastShot into the training, onto the nest box that will neutralize that, but still a lot of pressure coming in from him, and still numbers in the favor of FaZe.
They'll drop of the grenade. Cherished will lose that fight as well. Royal 2 is winning those battles. And FaZe now about 3/4 of the way through, capping this next hill. They will be up 3-1. Pure find themselves 2 dead. Cherished and Druk nowhere near it by the looks of things, and FaZe have dominated the last 3 or 4 minutes of this first game.
Important to note here as well, the total in the kills category. As we said early on, Pure was unsurprisingly winning at the early stages of the game, not just in hills, but in the kills category as well. However, at this stage of the game, FaZe is outslaying 39-27.
FaZe have control of the tower side of the map as well, the stronger side for sure when it comes to this top middle hill. And Renegade, he's going to pick up a few more kills himself, avoids that stick as well. Watches Druk QT back as his teammates pick up yet more kills. LastShot gets his ankles broken there as Renegade threads the needle with that sniper.
Really nicely done here. Going to try to track the QT, make sure no one comes back into mud either, but good progress here from Pure on this hill. The question is, can they keep this up? 2:06 left, but most importantly, it's a dicey hilltop middle. They want to end this hill as fast as they can to get back into the normal rotations.
Oh, it's not going to be easy when Renegade is starting to hit not just bodies, but heads as well. Taulek will be finished off in a few seconds' time as well. Renegade wants this kill, and he wants it now. 3 dead on the side of Pure momentarily. Cherished gets back onto the map, but this is now a case, by the looks of things, of FaZe deciding it's time to play the clock.
Renegade just rotates and relocates, right back to top tower. This is exactly where he wants to be, and FaZe going to start to play the hill itself and just end it here. As you see, there was 2:10 left earlier, but you can see they're now taking the lead in this 5th hill as well. Finally, Frosty's taken down, maybe an opportunity for Pure to find some aggression, but as you say, not easy when Renegade's still just holding court, top tower.
One more bullet to play with. So Pure have managed to essentially keep this hill neutral. Even with Renegade in a position with his sniper rifle and hitting some heads, there's another one to add to the collection. It's 5 in a row, the killing spree collected by Renegade. He's looking to pick up another one himself. Will be taken down, but now look at the hill progress. LastShot's got the camo as well. Does not want to trade in this position and manages to just about stay alive.
Ooh, stays alive as well. And like you said, it was 2 dead here for the side of FaZe. Maybe an opportunity. Take a look at the hill progress with 1:30 left. This game is far from over, and especially with the camo, Pure can take this.
Renegade will be taken down as well. Camo inside of that hill just makes it a little bit difficult to flush him out. Camo will dissipate, and we find ourselves with Pure answering back here. This is not done, game 1. Still 1 minute 30 left on this clock, and remember, it was Pure who won this first hill as well.
Man, off the first rotation, this thing is still neck and neck, and even though it was 3-1 moments ago, it feels like it's a lot closer now. It's really nicely done. As you said, how important was it that LastShot did not trade a tower? You saw he's able to pick up the kill on Frosty, then able to sit top mid. FaZe doesn't even try to stop. They let that hill go now. 1:10 left, no hill progress here on the 6th hill.
2 players bottom tower. LastShot recognizes that, decides to get out of dodge, try and help his other teammates who are respawning in and around garage.
1 minute remaining. Enemy team.
Pure are going to have to step in that hill, and now they decide to do so. 3v3 on the map right now as Druk will even up the numbers by falling at the hands of SnakeBite. SnakeBite now falling to Taulek. Oh, look at this flank LastShot has. He has so much information that he can relay, and FaZe at the moment, a little bit trapped, a little bit distant from that hill, and find themselves 2 dead.
Look at the patience here from LastShot to go all the way around back tower. It's beautifully done. Taulek also with the sniper in his hand. 40% of the progress done for Pure here. Can they tie it? 52 seconds left on the clock.
Big moments in this game, big shots to be hit. Frosty finds one, LastShot will trade it out. Royal 2, gonna be challenging. Gets bodied though, I think. Or maybe just managed to avoid it. Spike grenade is gonna pressure Taulek here. On the training, he's gonna play a fly him, and even though he bodies him, it's gonna be 3 dead for Pure. It's patience, it's perfection on the break coming in from FaZe.
Wow, it's huge from Royal 2. Royal 2 to take that fight and then go into green is absolutely beautiful because he gets Taulek all the way down to no shields. And then that allows the nest push to come in. It's a beautiful series of dominoes falling in the favor of FaZe. 30 seconds left. There's about one last push here for Pure. If they do it, they will tie the game. Look at the hill progress. It's still possible, but they still have 2 dead.
LastShot just got away with the camouflage. 20 seconds left to make a play. It's just enough time to make a play.
He's got to go. 13 seconds left. It's all the pressure on LastShot. They need to make a move right here.
10 seconds remaining. Can anyone get
Here he goes. Here he goes.
SnakeBite taken down. Druk will find the kill.
Here they come.
3 seconds left on the clock. Pure, they get in the hill. They find 2 kills. Renegade might be taken down as well. And with 3 seconds, 4 seconds left on the clock, it's going to be Pure who tie this game up at 3-3.
You talk about LastShot, the 19-year-old, the rookie, all the pressure on him. He's the last player alive, and with the camo, he waits for the teammates. They have a triple garage door push, and they tie it. They send us to overtime in game number 1.
Pure showing they're not just here to make up the numbers. They are here to continue their story. As from 3-1 down and looking like they weren't even present on the map for around 2-3 minutes as FaZe completely dominated the mid game. Well, the late game has belonged to Pure. 1 minute 42 left. Next hill wins.
The question is, will it all be for naught here? Keep an eye on the kill feed. FaZe is already getting progress. Lucky series of bounces there with that grenade taking its own AoE damage to not take down Frosty. He will hold nest.
2 dead for FaZe.
The question is, though, Cherished gets a big kill.
3 dead for FaZe.
4 dead for FaZe. Druk with a sniper rifle in hand as well. He'll finally swap that out. Now FaZe has to construct a push. Pure likely will not be able to close it out. Only defending 1 single push. FaZe will have likely 2 opportunities, but they need to make this count. Pure still scoring.
Royal 2's going to get the first pick, though. And now the numbers favor FaZe. Now they can flood forward. And Druk is going to find a couple of players looping in behind him. He manages to trade 1, but Pure are 2 dead. SnakeBite's flooding top middle alongside Renegade, and it will be FaZe who essentially break this hill and force Pure onto the back foot. Cherished in a 1v1, a huge 1v1 as well. SnakeBite trying to buy time. At least Cherished will win that one, and all of a sudden it gets a bit dicey.
It's a big win from Cherished. He had to win that one. Finally, he's taken down. So 3 dead. Druk is your only player alive, but he's in trouble. He knows it. He has to drop Pillar Door. He has to wait for help. This is, look at the progress on the hill. This could be it here. Pure has 1 last opportunity.
Royal 2! Royal 2 pokes with the snipe! Doesn't even get to pull the trigger, such as the team fire. Renegade can't connect either with the green gun, and now he has to drop down bottom middle. He has to concede that top middle lane. And Pure are now in a position where they have numbers in and around the hill. Renegade now needs to reproduce what we saw from LastShot, but this time it has to favor FaZe.
It's a 2v4, so much pressure here. 2v3 now for a moment. Renegade has to make a play with this camo.
Gonna give away his position. He has to wait. And he will just about have enough time to wait. Doesn't get the kill.
Enemy team nearing
Druk, no shields.
It's all on Renegade.
LastShot has no idea, but now he does. The flank from Renegade doesn't connect with a second shot. It's 4 dead. It's 4 dead for FaZe. And Pure will strike first here in Seattle. What a turnaround. Unbelievable way to start a Sunday.
Oh my God. Talk about a game 1 on Championship Sunday. Pure somehow makes it happen, forces overtime, loses control of the Plat Hill, and yet, even with Renegade with camo, even with the back whack coming in, they hold down and close out the overtime hills to take game 1 out from underneath FaZe, who I will remind you was leading 3-1 at one stage in that game.
We'll take a look at some of the replays, some of the big moments. You have to say the game is decided by 2 plays with the camo, and maybe 1 play with the green gun.
Yeah.
First hill goes the way of Pure, but then it was all FaZe. And I've got to be honest, wouldn't be surprised if you were watching at home or in the arena right now thinking, okay, what's game 2? FaZe have got this one. Like, Pure is struggling. Really couldn't even find presence on the map. But they kept themselves in the game. They kept it scrappy. But the second rotation of hills, this is the play from LastShot. Look at the game clock at the bottom of your screen. 3-4 seconds left to step in that hill. Times it perfectly. And it's not just LastShot as well, it's the rest of his team who play around the fact that they know he has camo, that FaZe know he has camo.
How about that win from Cherished? Huge win from Cherished there. And even though it was a straight 2v2 at this stage of the game, the green gut doesn't hit, they double stack the hill in the end. And the dummies push doesn't. Look at the pop off from Cherished. And you understand why, you understand what it means to them. Here they are, all 4 players on screen after that. Oh, I mean, I'm getting that gives me chills. The hype on that side of the stage, jeez. It's, as we said, been a Cinderella run for Pure. And they are up against a familiar opponent. They take game number 1, 4-3 in overtime. And what did we say? If they steal game number 1, then things get really interesting, because FaZe has a losing record on Slayer Aquarius. Also, we're going to keep an eye on that Argyle CTF, because, man, as the middle game of the series,
It's a tough one to call.
It is
always a tough one to call.
Tough one to call, and it's worth noting. Our team in the back, of course, Easy Mac on the stats, has been giving us all the goods, and specifically, FaZe struggles when the CTF games are within 1 flag. And guess what? Argyle CTF, that is what the game type is.
How many times do you see that decided by 3?
Exactly, yeah.
Well, here we go. Chapter 2 is about to begin here, as FaZe Clan find themselves down 1 game in this series. A incredible, historic comeback in game 1 from Pure. 3-1 down on King of the Hill Livefire to turn that game on its head. And now they have a chance to double their advantage.
You saw the demeanor on the side of Pure, as Taulek's gonna maybe get a freebie here at P2. He does to open up the game, trade it out immediately, but you saw the energy, the demeanor on the side of Pure. They're also gonna bring an overshield to the party, but can they keep the momentum going here in game number 2?
I mean, early on here, FaZe were all trapped in the back of the base. They barely got out of spawn. Renegade will find 1, and now you would not be surprised to see them leave, considering that they do have the space to play with. But this is going to be a game, I feel like, 1 or 2 kills, 1 or 2 moments, 1 or 2 BR shots cross map that's being picked up, which really has had an influence in some of these fights. But early on here is FaZe, who have just established a little bit of a lead here. 4-1 as now they creep their way up the map.
Really well done by FaZe. They were, as you said, trapped in the back of the base. They isolate LastShot out of the gen. Renegade immediately goes up to top to get an angle to help them push out once again. They get the back whack they need, and just like that, maybe a bit of a settling of the nerves for FaZe Clan. They're up 5-1 off the opening.
And who else but SnakeBite just to settle those nerves, right? 3-0, yet to die at the start of this game. Renegade 2-0 as well, and Pure now find out what it feels like to be trapped in the base. LastShot taken down. Taulek trying to support his teammate, and importantly, actually, I think he kept him alive momentarily, but Pure really struggling to find a foothold in this map.
They're really strong here from FaZe, and as you said, they were up against some nicely done from SnakeBite. Look at this, just they're gonna clean out the fridge as well. Renegade flies in. LastShot somehow gets a kill that you think in the 1v2 he should not have been able to get, and he's still being a nuisance.
Finally, SnakeBite will put him down, but that stick from SnakeBite, they're the kind of things when you've just had like a game go against you, you're like, okay, something is going for me. Just pre-nades that corner, gets the stick as Taulek pokes around the corner. And maybe that makes you believe that the game number 1 was just a little bit of bad fortune going your way. 12, make it 13-4, and 13 an unlucky number. Pure are starting to feel it right now.
Yeah, more than tripling the score of their opponents here, and as we said, for FaZe players and FaZe fans, this is what they would have wanted to see. And now an overshield as well for Royal 2. He puts his first kill on the board. Let's get to it. Listen to now with FaZe Clan leading 16-4.
Shroom's weak going. He's just hiding Shroom's. The other one with 2. One hit Shroom's.
I'm holding pistol. Go check thrust.
I'm gonna start walking up, guys. I'm starting to walk up.
Yeah, thrust might be a 2.
I'll be here. Running up, yeah, push black.
Taulek was the one hit.
Fuck that,
Yeah, nice, guys.
2 peek, 2 red. 2 peek, 2 red.
I have nade.
Mana hitting with P.
Yeah, you be finesse, John.
I got one. Another one top P, guys. Thrust is up 2. Thrust is up 2.
Nice, Scanner got thrust.
He's from blue, going for thrust. Weak blue guys.
I got left. Got him.
Nice, Brad.
There's 2. Cherished is on.
Don't see the other 2 dead.
3. Let's go Druk. He's top guard. Are you top guard? He's one in top guard. Druk. He's still going blue man. One in top mid. I got him. Yo, top P and yellow P. There's one in there.
Yellow closet.
Yellow 2 on John. Yellow 2 on John. He's going gen bridge, in gen.
Yellow P street.
Druk, you want Druk? Weak front yellow, guys.
Yeah, 2 on me. Front yellow, guys.
Hey.
Yeah, I pissed on him.
Good job,
Yeah, another front yellow. He's going to shoot. Yellow engine.
Nice, nice.
Kobe in 30. Kobe in 30.
Yo, top guard. We can
Top car weak. Yeah, top car weak.
Nice, one shot. Two shots.
Top car really weak. Top car
One time in.
Cherished the one heavy.
Wait, one blue car. One blue car. Right.
Kobe in 50.
Two car three, car one.
Nice, John.
Two car three, guys.
We can confirm.
On shot still, Druk? Yeah,
Obi in 10. Obi in 10.
Chasing. He's
Yeah, on shock, Sean.
He's going engine.
Going top
Bridge.
Obi in 5. Obi in 5.
Same blue team.
Yeah, you're kind of by yourself, John.
Yo, come take it.
On Obi.
Looking. He's one shot.
Level on me, top PV.
It has been complete domination from FaZe. Finally, Pure gets some sort of a foothold as the overshield comes up top middle, but you can hear FaZe sound pretty calm. They don't sound too flustered about what happened in that game. Number one, they are just strictly business, and you can see how it's affecting this scoreline.
Yeah, really impressed with the focus there and then the listening. The second we got to that listening, even though they're up 16-3 or so, it felt like, and still the focus, the determination, the comms were absolutely perfect. You heard a lot of small talk coming in from SnakeBite on exactly the play that he was making, and also just beautiful teamwork on the collapses. That has led to a continued 33-17 lead.
Well, if there's anything that FaZe would have learned from that first game is you can never feel comfortable, even with a lead that you feel like might be one that is difficult to overturn. And remember, they were up 3-1, and even though it's 35-19, if you put that, do the calculations, not too far away when you look at the difference between that. And we know how this map and this mode can snowball a little bit if you find yourself 2 or 3 dead. So Pure need to keep that in mind here as FaZe. Going to continue just to trade out at this point in the game, but Taulek's not going to let that happen. He wins a fight.
Nicely done by Taulek. That's not easy to win bottom middle. It's probably eventually going to get traded out, I thought. He does, but a lot of help coming in. So just like that, 23-38. Now, if we're honest, yes, Pure is capable of some fantastic things, and yes, it's possible on an Aqua Slayer, but at 38-25, it still seems out of reach. It would need to be an unbelievable series of Slayer rotations coming in from Pure starting now.
Royal 2 no shields, manages to stay alive. Cherished is going to be trying to zone in on him, but in the meantime, SnakeBite's picking up a kill of his own just to extend that lead even further. Royal 2 being such a nuisance in the courtyard at the moment. Cherished will finally put him to bed, but 2v2 on the map is absolutely fine for FaZe. That means that they've got enough trades to keep themselves ahead in this game.
By the way, talk about laser focus and a bounce back from game number 1. SnakeBite right now is 11-10-5. He is more than double positive and leading the entire game in assists. He has more than double the assists of anyone on Pure. It's an unbelievable game 2 from SnakeBite.
8 to go then for FaZe to tie up this series of 1-1. There's one of them. There's an overshield, and that might be the dagger. Here for Pure. Royal 2 finds another one. Now it's just 6 to go, as I think the real answer is here, who's just going to end up with the most kills on FaZe, because everybody is now in double digits.
It does seem to be a bit of a kill race on the blue side of the screen. A very different story from what you see on the Pure side. And they have slowed the game down considerably, understandably so, not just to bait out this overshield, but also because they are in trouble with the scoreboard at 46.
Cherished and Taulek will fall. And I think probably Pure, even at this point, know that with just 4 kills needed for FaZe, we are going into our game 3 with the series potentially all tied up. Druk will fall as well, 3 now to go for FaZe. This has been exactly the response they would have wanted to see from themselves as we headed into this game 2.
And the FaZe fans in the building and also around the world are also going to be feeling the exact same thing. This is a big bounce back from FaZe in game number 2, and we don't just mean in terms of how the game went, but really in terms of momentum for the squad as well. 48 kills on the board, 2 to go.
There are those 2 kills, and FaZe answer back. It's tied up 1-1 in the series now. That is a dominant display on Aquarius Slayer. And we mentioned how many times throughout history FaZe have relied on those Slayers just to close a series out or reset them in a series. And once again, they lean on that Slayer on the big occasion and find ourselves now tied up at 1-1 as we head towards that hard goal.
A lot to talk about from that game number 2, and it's really, I think, on paper, it might just feel like a game 2 win for FaZe, but to be honest, there's a lot more to talk about there as we take a look at some highlights, specifically the way that they won the game, the way that they sounded in the listening, the momentum they will take from that win into the rest of the series, the fact that they had lost that game type against Pure most recently, and then beat them in that fashion. On top of that, we talked about games 2, 3, and 4 being the swing games in this series. Because of the records of each team, FaZe able to also take that. It just feels like that was much more than just a game 2 win. There was a lot there that is now going in FaZe's favor.
Very interesting to see how this game actually started as well, because you felt like Pure got a lot of map control. They had like 50-yard line, it was all theirs, all of FaZe were trapped into the base, but off the back of FaZe And Renegade getting that first kill. From then, it just felt like Pure really struggled to show any presence on the map. And you saw the score at one point, I think it was like 26-5 or something like that. And even if you're Pure, you probably know at that point that this is going to be very, very tough to come back from. They avoid the steak dinner, but they will find themselves, like I mentioned, losing that game as we now head into Argyle CTF. And I just want you to repeat for some people who maybe are joining the stat that you were saying about when it comes to CTFs and how FaZe have got to be very careful and how this game type kind of falls into that interesting statistic you were talking about.
Yeah, specifically, Pure needs to keep this CTF close because FaZe is 0-2 in CTFs that end within one flag. And they're 8-8 on the entire year of games that end within one flag. So really keeping this game close is going to give them an opportunity to take this game 3, the go-ahead game in the series.
Some of the players who are doing the most capping for their team at the moment, you can see is Cherished, who's usually running that thing. On the other side, it's going to be SnakeBite, who's going to be running it. 11 steals, 10 steals aside on either side. So both of these players will be the front runners for their teams, trying to get inside of that base, get that flag moving. But I got to say, I'm keeping my eyes on the snipers. I'm keeping my eyes on a couple of players on Pure. Who's going to be picking that thing up and who is going to be challenging the likes of Renegade, Frosty, Royal 2, and even SnakeBite himself. Because we know here on Argyle, if you can hit those big shots, create those openings, it's not just about capping flags, it's also about holding teams back and stopping them getting to your base.
It really is, and I think Pure's key to success on this one is just like game number 1. They need to be the aggressors. They need to dictate the pace of play. They need to be taking the chances, throwing themselves into high-risk, high-reward scenarios where they can maybe sneak out extra damage, sneak out a double kill deep in their opponent's base. Things like that will be the difference maker. I think if they simply try to go toe-to-toe with FaZe here, they probably end up losing this game 1-0 or 2-1. I think they need to be the ones that are flying in and taking the high chance plays.
So capture the flag on Argyle. First to 3, or whoever manages to get the most caps in the allocated time will be going up 2-1 in this series. Renegade, POV to watch, BR in hand, already firing across map. QT's going to go down as well. It looks like that's going to be collected on the side of FaZe 2. So early on, equipment being picked up. Looks like FaZe have managed to get the slightly better opening.
Good utility here. Renegade just uses it to fly in right away. Must have gotten a call out here about the vent. And he cleans out the vent. That's 2 dead for Pure. We'll see if they can continue moving their way up the map. 3 dead.
He's going to be last alive with the sniper rifle, which was see him picking that one up on the side of Pure as well. See Royal 2's hunting him down, and SnakeBite is inside of the base, already moving your flag. And the stats don't lie sometimes, and Royal 2 certainly isn't lying as well. He's managed to pick up 2 on the respawn, looking for his 3rd.
Wow, I said that it needed to be Pure that was dictating the pace of play. I love that pull from SnakeBite. Yes, the flag is stop bottom mid for now, but you can get away with that. If you know what you're doing on Argyle, you don't have to play the long game. LastShot with a very good challenge here on Royal 2. Looks like he'll likely take this. He does. But I like that from FaZe. Get in the base, almost a midship-esque pull. Just get that flag down and continue slaying thereafter.
Flag will be sent home though, so Pure managed to just about relieve that early pressure that came in from FaZe. It was a fantastic start for them. Royal 2 hitting a few shots, like you say, but oh boy, the position of the flag, it was a couple of kills that got picked up that managed to get them in a position to send that one home. Druk now has the sniper rifle, and he's a player that certainly can heat up if he gets that in his hand.
Druk there turns up. I think SnakeBite rightly thought that Druk was going to go mid there, but maybe just a little bit of footstep audio turns Druk around and eventually cleans up that kill. It's an important kill because you do not want SnakeBite just hanging around your elbow.
Only that one pull to talk about so far on either side. So FaZe will find themselves 3 dead though.
Speaking of,
SnakeBite is last alive. He's trying to stop Cherished getting that flag moving. Good damage onto the players on the flag though, and that is going to just slow this run down a little bit. And the time that he's just bought, everyone is back on the map now for FaZe. 3 alive for them, and even though he gets taken down, now you can see that Pure have got to be careful how they run this one. Renegade, bottom middle, a huge triple, a massive triple from Cherished. He was no shield front of base. He was the one who originally started moving this flag.
LastShot gets a touch as well. Frosty was bottom middle. Keep an eye on the feed. Frosty gets 1. That's huge. That might slow the flag down just a bit here. Let's see what Cherished does on the flank.
SnakeBite, big individual win just to stop that flank coming in, but Taulek gets a touch on that flag, and even though Pure are down numbers, he's going to try and force this, and Taulek will get it back to the base. QT's back into the vent as well, and Pure will strike first.
And he gets away as well. Doesn't get the stick, but still QT's out. Might even QT back here with the extra second, decides not to, but that flag goes in, and off screen, we don't know what happened. Taulek continues running the flag bottom middle. Frosty was alive bottom mid. Frosty gets the pick, and then SnakeBite gets a pick on his own elbow. That would indicate that that flag was dead in the water. Somehow, off screen, Pure and Taulek take a route to bring the first flag in under 3 minutes of play.
A great response again from Pure. Remember, FaZe just absolutely wiped the floor with them in game number 2. And now the pressure, you can feel the nerves all of a sudden on Pure. They've done the job right, they've got the flag. They've managed to get themselves into the lead. And with how Argyle works, we know that you can kind of play that 50-yard line, you can play defensively, but Frosty is gonna get the pick, and now he has a chance to strike and carve a path towards that flag here for FaZe.
What a big moment here. Cherished versus Frosty in a sniper battle. Pure up
Positions of FaZe, of Pure, excuse me, though, holding down both vents. This is what it means, just being obnoxious.
Absolutely, they're gonna hold that 50-yard line. Let's get into the comms here to listen to with Pure.
They're not moving, bro. They're not doing anything.
QT of 15, play for this.
I think once they're in, I'm not entirely sure. We'll get their pieces now.
Yo, what does it? Still there's nice one sniping.
Getting repost.
Ali
weak, he's weak.
Yeah, he's weak. Watch out. Nice, listen, snipe the glass. Yeah, he's gonna back to the flag. They're very now roll 2. Van, watch the
Vent is absolute.
Yeah, he's right at the back. Look at there, sniper, watch out.
Snipe on their snipe.
Joey, keep playing defense, Joey. Yo, Joey, one's on our flag. Roll 2's on our flag, one shot. Dead, shot on fucking dead.
Live, just keep living.
Yo, one's a commando. Yeah, they're commando, brother. Look at the PCs now, Yo, listen, the glass sniping. I hear you. Yo, they're entering there. Our vent. SnakeBite, watch out their alley. Watch out the vent.
Nice. Live, they're gonna be pushing you. 2 dead, guys.
Yeah, the glass still. Yo, I can grapple it. I Druk if you touch it, okay?
Renegade just spawned.
You can grapple it if you touch it. Second spawner. Yo, they're sniped right now. He's on the sniper sniping. Coming in. Look at the back flag, one shot.
Ali, John, one shot, Ali, John. Might be E1 on you. Yo, new sniper in 10, get that
Need kills here.
Well, Pure sound high top, and you can see the focus is there. Playing defensive was kind of the first call, but as they picked up a few kills, started to creep their way forward. And Druk, you heard it in the comms. Throw that flag out, Druk. I've got grapple. I might be able to pull this one back.
In the end, the grapple does not come through. I do love the strategy, though, especially as soon as that flag comes off the stand. Renegade here with sniper in hand. See what he can do. He's already been putting on a show in this series, but work to be done. And he starts there with LastShot as the first pick. As soon as that flag comes off the stand, if you can grapple, you can make up enormous amounts of distance and cut this map not just in half, but even more. Good pressure, though, coming in from Taulek in the end. Will be a trade from Druk and Renegade.
3 dead for Pure, though. LastShot last alive, and Frosty has that flag already. All the needs! Halfway across, SnakeBite is there to collect it, so making sure to shadow that flag carrier back, so important. Off the respawn, Royal 2 will find one, but there might be a bit of pressure coming in here. SnakeBite should be able to cap this, and we have a tied game.
Beautifully done by SnakeBite, specifically the fact that he was sitting there in alley at mid, and he did not take the same splash AoE damage from the nades that killed Frosty. He was shadowing the flag, but making sure that he would not take any collision damage from those grenades that were coming around the same angle. Had LastShot naded both of them, that flag doesn't go home. Really nicely done by SnakeBite.
LastShot again gets that first pick. Frosty would trading it out. Cherished still with a sniper rifle in his hands, or certainly in the back pocket for now. Those Royal 2 is no shields. Picks that one up. Only 1 bullet to work with for him here, but you got to say Cherished has done a fantastic job of being the anchor for his team in the last few minutes. So many big shots that he's hit to deny FaZe, but the one moment that he falls, the one moment that FaZe break through, it costs him a cap.
By the way, these two teams not just tied 1-1, but also essentially just tied up at 33 kills apiece a moment ago. With that kill, Pure will go into the lead, 34 kills to 33. These two could not be closer.
It was a scary moment when you zoomed in with that sniper rifle. You see a frag coming towards you. So not sure how big it is.
I like the pull.
Oh, here's the grapple! And the grapple! There's the grapple! Can't get it around the corner though. SnakeBite from the flag. Aware to the situation. It was the same thing from the playbook we saw a few moments ago. Druk pulls that flag. Guess the comms that the grapple is there, but SnakeBite, good angles from him to make sure it doesn't get away.
You gotta wonder if they maybe needed to just shoot for just an extra second. Also, of course, did not help. We've all been there. That flag gets caught on the Geo just a bit.
A lot of damage being done. LastShot's gonna get a touch on this. SnakeBite was forced to back down. And now LastShot putting a bit more damage down, and with the 3v3 on the map, is gonna grapple that one away as well. Renegade is gonna be on the engine, has to deal with him.
Big 1v1.
Oh! LastShot is making brilliant, perfect decision in this situation. He's run this one back, and off the back of the pull from Druk, the grapple from LastShot, it's going to be 2-1 to Pure.
How about the beautiful grapple relay? Just as we thought that flag was dead, we were already talking about how it didn't make the move across top mid, but as you said, it's a very late last-second touch from LastShot. And then in the end, a little bit of extra grapple to bring that flag back. 4 minutes left, Pure leading 2-1.
Flag is away though. LastShot tries to stay alive. manages to just about do so. Frosty's been hitting some big shots as well. There's 2 sniper rifles in play here for FaZe. If they pick up a couple of kills inside the base, Frosty has commanding positions on top middle, now bottom middle, and might be able to just put all of Pure into the respawn. 2 dead already for Pure. Flag is moving for FaZe. They should be able to tie this one up.
Yeah, this one should go comfortably as well, especially with that sniper escort. Renegade going to bring this one back. Cherished also being taken down means this will be an easy one for the flag to go, and we are tied at 2-2. Next flag will win. 3:35 left on the clock.
Remember what you were saying?
Yep.
Remember what we were saying? Close games in CTF so far this season have not favored FaZe. However, history is history and it's there to be broken. 2-2 now.
What a game 3 between these two. Wouldn't have it any other way. Tied up at 2 flags apiece. The run begins. 3v3 on the map.
Frosty just looking for angles at the moment. It was his double kill a few moments ago off screen that opened up the map for FaZe to move towards that base. He's looking to get a little bit aggressive here. You can see the Taulek, he heard those footsteps, finds the kill. And now LastShot's going to be peeking. Frosty can't quite connect this time. But boy, this is nervy. This is so nervy.
Wow, look at Frosty keeping SnakeBite alive, just having to shoot in between the ankles to hit the opponent. Might even get a 3rd one here. Cherished with an important trade, but it's 3 dead. Taulek is the last player alive. He's taken down. A double kill means LastShot your first spawner on elbow. Let's see if a pull comes in for FaZe.
Oh, big nade.
He does it again.
Somehow, he pokes thinking his shield's come back. The nade is perfect. The 2nd kill is enormous. And LastShot again. The coolest man in this series, it seems, at the moment. The double kill to deny a flag pull coming in from FaZe.
What does LastShot even do from elbow? Sure, the nades were easy to understand. What did he do on the flag against SnakeBite to win that kill as well? It's a 1v2 as the last player alive, and he stops the run entirely, and he continues the damage. 2 dead for FaZe. The flag is running this.
Pure running this. Frosty might be the only player who can stop it.
Oh my God.
Taulek's in the front of the base. Frosty does get the kill, but where is the rest of Pure? Where is the rest of FaZe? Frosty, it's all on you.
Keep an eye on the kill feed here.
LastShot's going to just try and buy time. Cherished will find one on a respawner though. Frosty's got so many decisions to make, he cannot find where LastShot went, but SnakeBite can. He gets the kill. Taulek, they have the numbers here. He's going to try and force it. It's going to be stopped on the stand. Frosty has to go forward. He has to go forward.
Where are the spawners? Where are the spawners? There's a bottom base spawner. They might be able to take the flag.
It's going to be Pure who get it. Pure will get the flag home. They will win the game 3-2. My God, man, what a game, what a series this has been, and we still have plenty more to come, but LastShot, man, LastShot. How many times in that series, how many times in that game has he been the clutch factor for Pure?
LastShot goes 20-10 in a game that they only outslay by 2. It's an unbelievable series from him and an amazing game 3 as well. We'll take a look at some highlights from that match, but how about the non-traditional rallied and relayed runs coming in from Pure time and time again? Taulek also, the play that he made to get that flag to the front base and then get the touch himself as well onto the flag stand. As you said, what LastShot was able to do throughout the entire game, picking up somehow a 1v2 as the last player alive to deny FaZe's 3rd pull. This flag went, by the way, even though it gets stuck on the Geo for just a second. Watch what happens after.
LastShot happens afterwards. Remember, he cuts damage down. He wins this fight against Renegade. He then knows, he trusts his teammates. You know that the communication is you can go. But the small little grapple just to bring that flag away from the attention of the respawners who have no line of sight on it means that flag goes home.
Look at this from Taulek. He's going to get taken down right away on the front jump. Take a look at the expression on his face. And here it is, by the way. We do get it in the end. It's actually Druk who goes plasmas. Great job from the observers to tell us exactly how that flag comes in. And the pop-off once again from Pure as they take game number 3. And what did we say? Once again, shout out to the stats team in the back led by Easy Mac. FaZe does not do well with games that are within 1 flag. That stat line reigns true again. Pure is up 2-1. And now 1 game away from eliminating FaZe from the Halo World Championship.
And a game that FaZe, and a game type that FaZe have not been too successful in either. Taking a look at some of the damage stats coming in from two of Pure's finest, the players who were part of that incredible run last year as well. Taulek and Druk. The two players who combined to get that final flag in to give them the lead in this series. 1.48 for Taulek. Druk with a 1.20. Damage per minute, I'll split them.
What a game, what a series. And we knew this was going to be a good one, and it has delivered. As we said, whether you're here with us in Seattle or joining us from around the world, this is where you want to be. FaZe has their backs against the wall. The defending Halo World Champions now 1 game away from elimination. They need to win this Strongholds recharge, a game type they have a losing record on here, in order to force a Game 5. We're getting underway here, Game 4.
LastShot POV. No POV has ever been earned better by a player for what they have done in a series. So cool, so calm, so collected. And he's continuing that run right now. Frosty shuts him down, but he's last player alive for FaZe.
What did he do off screen is the question. What did he do from the elbow to not only hit the nades, but also win that 1v1 on the flag against SnakeBite? You'd be very correct in saying that that play might have saved the entire game and changed the direction of the entire series. Let's see if he can do it again here. Pure off to an early 17-point lead here on Strongholds.
Frosty using that camo will be able to collect a shock rifle as well and should be able to collect a second kill. It's a double for him. FaZe will flip the scoring in their favor. It's a BC hold, and immediately they're looking for the triple cap as well. LastShot is last alive. They're trying to hunt him down, and they will find him. So all of Pure are respawning in and around C right now. This is not where they want to be.
Got to mention as well, you might have seen it earlier in the series. Frosty picks up another one. Nice little shot here on Cherished to eliminate him quickly. That will be 2 dead for Pure, as FaZe will now go into the lead. 23-17 on the board. Worth noting, Pure has not lost this game type here in Seattle. As we said, FaZe has losing record on it. FaZe needs to do what they did in game number 2 to turn around the game type history and the record. So far, so good. They're now up by double the score of their opponent.
Interesting to see how FaZe are playing this one, though. Playing it slow, playing it carefully. Not looking to push for that triple cap, even though they had all of Pure trapped in that long haul for a few moments, pretty much spawning immediately after each other. And off the back of it, they're actually going to lose B. They're going to play for C here, but there's a rogue Cherished around the corner, and even though Frosty's going to grapple up, he needs to hit a big shot. He has some support as well in SnakeBite. They managed to win that fight, and now Pure find themselves trapped in pipes.
Really well done by Frosty to stay in the mix there. A lot of players might have just grappled out or assumed that SnakeBite would just get the kill. Instead, he grapples up the window and just stays in the battle and stays alive, making that kill just a little bit easier and a little bit more efficient for the side of FaZe. That also now opens up the opportunity for Renegade with another camo play. Let's see what he can do.
Frosty had it first, Renegade gets it second, but most importantly for FaZe fans, it means 2 collected in a row as they will reset A and continue scoring once more. Ooh, it's a big trade coming in from Druk there. You can see him sliding as the camo player just lit up. But even though it's a trade, it's 2 dead again for Pure. They're really struggling to find a foothold, and for the first time we have a triple cap, and Frosty will add another to his collection.
FaZe bouncing back once again. What do we see in game number 2? They didn't take the loss lightly. Take a look at Frosty's
first death, by the way.
Yeah. Frosty's first death here is 8-1. They did not take the game 1 loss lightly. They bounced back in a huge way in game number 2. It seems we're seeing a lot of the same here in game number 4.
FaZe will cross 100 points as well, and knowing where the spawn's coming in on pipes and that Pure will jump into B, they will swap it for C and then try and pressure. However, there's a sneaky little Taulek at the back of blue here, and even though he can't get the reset, even though he can't stop the conversion, he will kill 2 players and give Pure a foothold back into Cap C themselves. Really big player for the first time in what feels like around 60 seconds or so. Pure have the numbers on the map.
Yeah, here they come as well. Taulek just helping out Cherished. They're going to try to flood in the elevator. They're running 2 players, though. But it's all small work here for Taulek. He's able to pick up both. It's a double kill to clean both those up. Maybe more! A triple on screen. He wants more!
Renegade! Taulek! Oh, no overkill this time around, but the damage is done. It's a triple cap here for Pure. And even though with Renegade winning that all-important battle and denying us a clip that we talk about for quite some time, it does give Pure a foothold in this game. LastShot now has the shock rifle. FaZe will continue scoring as they flip C, but numbers are equal on the map.
I don't know how many people saw it, but if you saw Taulek's picture-in-picture there in his player cam, his body rocked back violently after that death. You knew he wanted that over. He was ready to start popping off. He doesn't get it, and you have to wonder if things might be a bit different had he gotten it.
Quite connecting with the heads here, LastShot. Is FaZe gonna re-challenge, backs himself to hit this shot. Managed to snap on with the bandit. 2v2 on the map. FaZe have that triple cap again though. And FaZe all of a sudden are starting to find a bit of momentum, start to roll. The teamwork is starting to click here. 148 and rising. But remember, we've seen this before in this series, and Pure always have a way to come back.
Oh my, Frosty not afraid to get right into the mix there. It's a beautiful grapple at the top A. That's not an easy battle to take, especially against a player like Cherished, but he makes it look very easy. He's quadruple positive at 12 and 3.
Big game from Frosty. B's gonna be flipped by Pure, but it's a little bit desperation. They just want to get a foothold to slow down the scoring. FaZe will continue to score here. 172, making another kill for Frosty. He's 13 and 3. He's positive 10 in this game.
Giving me nightmares of running down hallways on Colossus, just getting noob comboed as a kid. Nightmare fuel indeed. 184 to 152. Looks like, I think you see the reaction there on Frosty as well as things start to slow down. Looks like we might have a technical issue. He leans back just a bit. We might have lost a player on the Pure side. So even though we saw a triple cap ticking, have to assume that we'll wait to get back into this game at a pretty devastating scoreline still in favor of FaZe.
So we'll have to see if we do get there first. Remember as well, you look at the records. It's very interesting, right? Pure are down in this game, but they've shown that they can go on these runs with their Strongholds record. So don't quite count them out of this one yet, as it looks like we are back underway here. And as you can see, 182 to 52 is where we find ourselves with the score. FaZe were dominating. And off the rip, they're going to get the first 2 kills as well. So Frosty might be able to collect his next camo.
Ooh, nice little 1v1 as well. I love this. Once again, how many times do we see the Bash brothers, Frosty and SnakeBite, just tag teaming? Even when Frosty's weak, he's still shooting for SnakeBite. SnakeBite throws himself into the action as well. That secures camo for FaZe.
Going to be a very similar opening strat as well. They're going to get A and C, and they're going to look for the kills in and around B. Frosty gets spotted out though. Even though he is still alive, he's going to avoid a little bit of splash damage coming in from nades, but expertly navigates his way around that.
Very nicely done there. Not easy to go mid-bridge and just drop and make sure you don't get naded out. Goes Mangler Pit all the way back to Elevator. And even though camo dissipates, that'll give them an opportunity to reset here and start to push off his push. Eventually he's traded out, but once again, who else is there? It's SnakeBite right shoulder to shoulder with Frosty.
Very interesting there. Pure just set up a full-on assault onto A. So they flooded through pipes towards Turbine. They picked up 2 or 3 kills as well, and it's worked for them because not only did they get the kills, they managed to flip A. So now they have the AB hold and a chance maybe just to get a foothold. But as I say it, it's going to be SnakeBite in the feed again. 4-on-1 from the restart here. 2 dead, make it 3 dead momentarily, and A will be reconverted with Royal 2 and Renegade here. They might be able to do even more.
He's the insta-stick. Renegade was either going to kill him with the insta or he was going to kill him with the stick, delivering multiple versions of death here in the game. And to be honest, speaking of, it's also getting very dangerous score-wise, as we said. Even just with a 2-cap hold there, we're already in the 220s.
Getting closer and closer to closing this one out as well, and it hasn't been a game that's been based upon triple caps. It's been a game that's been based upon complete and utter control. And now that that control has been established with LastShot down to no shields and 2 players already in the death screen, FaZe think about that triple cap. Frosty also has the shock rifle. 3 dead hit for Pure. It feels like we're on the home straight.
We're going to just shock him out here. Frosty's not afraid to just keep dealing damage. By the way, great damage from Renegade into Whirlpool. Even though he was going to be taken down, he had a nice extra damage onto Druk to make sure they're going to be able to flip B now as well. They continue scoring. 5 points to go.
2 dead though for FaZe. B's going to be flipped. Even though Royal 2 is in a position to put some damage down, he's not going to be in a position to really do much about this. Camo goes over to Pure, and even though they have 244 points on the board here, FaZe, that number is not 250, so this game is not done yet.
Not done yet. It will need to be the best Halo we may have ever seen this season from Pure if they're going to make this happen. SnakeBite just desperately going for a trade there, and then he doesn't get it, so 2 stay dead. Now make it 3 dead. Royal 2 is the last player alive once again. He likely will be cleaned up here. He will. 4 dead for FaZe. And now the trip cap starts.
Okay.
And can you imagine?
Okay.
I'm not going to get too excited yet here, but trip cap in effect for Pure.
All Pure have to do at this point is trade kills. Doesn't have to be perfect. If you are trading every single kill, no one can get inside one of those strongholds. That's the beauty of the triple cap. It's not about being perfect. It's about being good enough to trade out those kills.
Watch the kill feed. Druk's the first to fall. If we see 2 dead here for Pure, that could be the game.
2 dead for FaZe though.
3 dead. Cherished, last player alive.
Might be able to make a play on A here though.
Can you imagine?
Renegade has no idea.
Needs it.
Renegade has no idea. Cherished gets the kill, gets the reset. FaZe and the triple cap will stay in effect here for Pure.
Okay, I wasn't getting excited, but now things are getting out of hand. As you said, all they need to continue doing is continue trading.
3 dead! A killing spree for Cherished! Off the back of being last alive, getting the reset onto A, and all of a sudden we have a game on our hands here. Camo is coming up in around 7 seconds as well.
Can you imagine? This is getting way too close for comfort here for FaZe. 181 to 244. The kill feed will determine where this goes. World 2 gets the camo.
Shroud down, Camo picked up. Gets hit by the splash damage from the plasmas though, but it is at least a foothold here. They managed to get C, and they have the camo as well.
What does he do here? Game in his hands.
These kind of decisions are where maps are won or lost. It's 2 dead. Here on the side of Pure, Royal 2 will step inside of B and flipping. And even though they will be scoring, Druk is over at C. And Pure will stop the scoring, but it's all about A and B here. You can see Royal 2 is waiting inside of B, waiting for the push. FaZe are inside of A. They're going to flip it. They have the AB hold. Desperation nades, desperation plays coming in as Pure will dive into B.
They triple stack B. Can Druk finish it? Druk does finish it, still scoring. 248 on the board for FaZe. They don't end it, and it was 3 dead.
Frosty now's going to come under pressure himself. B and C still controlled here by Pure.
Oh. 2 dead still.
Cherished is going to flank onto SnakeBite. B and C still in their hands, still scoring. Pure will not die.
Unbelievable. They're going to start to flip A as well. They're going to start to flip A. They will start to trip cap here at the 225 mark.
Two dead on the side of FaZe.
This might just happen.
2 dead on the side of FaZe. SnakeBite down to no shields. Inside of B. They will get B and slow the scoring, but slowing the scoring does not stop the scoring. A trade for Cherished over A.
My God, did they ever need B here? 244. Somehow, Pure has done it. It's happening.
Pure inside of A. 2 dead for Pure though. LastShot flies in. The trade will come in from SnakeBite. And at 248 to 248.
Look at B.
FaZe, they play for A.
Look at B. B is flipping. Pure is
inside of B.
Pure is flipping again. 248 on the board. Will they get this? Now contested at B again. Tied at 248.
FaZe are going to pick up some kills though. Taulek needs to be a hero. FaZe! FaZe! FaZe will close it out! Oh my God! FaZe will close it out! You will not see a more intense, more ridiculous game of recharge strongholds for quite some time. FaZe will win it. We are tied up at 2-2, and we are going to that game 5.
We got to take a look specifically at this last minute. It was 248 to 212. FaZe stayed 2 dead time and time again. And somehow, some way, Cherished and Taulek will now rotate A. They were trip capping here, by the way. Look at SnakeBite getting B here. Look at SnakeBite.
One
single.
bullet.
Where's the nades? No one's nading back left bat. No one is nading L2. And SnakeBite gets away with B. And it changes the course of the game. It keeps FaZe alive in the tournament.
It changes the course of the game, but does it change the course of history here? SnakeBite staying alive, he's then back into the fight, gets the trade onto top A as well. Frosty will finish it, and then it just becomes a game of Rumble Pit in and around B. Everybody is diving in. Pure initially get the conversion, but 2 players contest from FaZe. Renegade flies in as well. Frosty manages to watch the ball edge, and at the last second, even though Taulek makes a desperate play to contest, FaZe hold on.
Unbelievable. Let's not forget. By the way, very different reactions there. It's a pop-off from Renegade, and World 2 just kind of scratches his chin, thinking, how on earth did we let that happen? Talk about the heart of Pure. They were down 248 to 90 or so. And I know I said I wasn't going to get too excited yet because it was an insane task. They bring it all the way back to tied at 248. They essentially only allowed 2 breaks in their entire setup. And that's all they had room for, and that's all it took for FaZe to take it. This is Street Slayer at Salt Lake City. The last time we saw these two play the game, it was a game 5. FaZe won it 50 to 46. and you couldn't ask for anything better. And let's not forget SnakeBite, who, take a look for just a moment at the KD category here.
Not reading this wrong.
And you will see one of these is not like the others. SnakeBite goes 19-8 in a game that they win by 4. With a 2.38 KD in a Game 5 Slayer. The man you can depend on. He did it in Salt Lake. The question is, can they do it here now? We're tied 2-2, both of these teams, as we see FaZe re-entering the stage here after a short player break after game number 4. That's the man on your screen here. He's the first to return to the stage. Question is, can he do something similar as he did in Salt Lake City? This is your series layout so far. These two teams exchanging game types back and forth. Pure takes an overtime King of the Hill live fire. Just in case you're just joining us, a quick recap. Slayer Aquarius, a clean win for the side of FaZe. CTF Argyle goes down to the wire. It's a 3-2 win for Pure. Strongholds recharge in one of the most absurd Strongholds matches we've seen in the Halo Championship Series.
Gotta watch it back.
You have to watch it back. But keep your tabs open. Stay close, because it's going to be non-stop World Championship Halo all day for you here on Championship Sunday. Ladies and gentlemen, one game remains between FaZe and Pure. And it's a Street Slayer to decide who gets to continue on Championship Sunday and who will go home in 4th place.
Game 5. The series always felt like it was going to come down to this. The twists, the turns, the seesaw and momentum in skill and ability and in heart from both sides of this stage. Now one of them can continue and only one. It's a Game 5. It's Pure, it's FaZe, and we're starting off with Cherished.
It has already been an unforgettable series. Cherished hits his back whack. Frosty just a second late, and he's going to be thankful for it to steal the red gun. As the first few kills go the way of Pure on this battle bottom middle, traded out at 2-2.
FaZe get this red gun line. We know how important the Stalker is.
Oh, pancakes
Keep down on a pancake. Perfect way to start your day.
And what a series it's been so far. Frosty might get caught out of benches, he does, but it felt like a series that always needed to go to Game 5. As we said, these two were tied 6-6 in games on the year. We needed a tiebreaker, we needed a Game 5, and here we are.
Camo's still up, by the way. Almost a full minute into this game.
Crazy.
Camo is still up. No one has been able to clear enough of a path to it in order to get away safely. Finally, it looks like FaZe might have just about got their hands on it. It's going to be Frosty who does find it, but Taulek finds the kill onto SnakeBite, excuse me. And now Frosty has to be careful. He can get away with the camo after securing the kill.
Beautifully done. Did you notice the trigger discipline? Did you notice the timing, the late trigger pull? To make sure he did not get
2. Oh, it's 3! Frosty puts him into the lead. He is a perfect use of the camo.
Absolutely beautifully done. Just the timing there to make sure he did not appear too early. It just times the last shot of that kill. It leads to a triple kill. And now momentum for them as well. They lead by 2.
After seeing what we've seen so far in this series, I'm not really bothered about leads. I'm bothered about what the final score is, because leads could disappear. Comebacks can happen, and it's been proven on both sides of this stage. However, the lead is 2 in the side of FaZe. Frosty's still alive in and around the PD, trying to help Renegade stay alive. Not going to be able to do so, but even off the back of the last camo play, we've now found enough timing, spending in this game for the next one to be available.
Beautifully done from Frosty to take that 1v1 on Caffeinated Tower. Those are the types of 1v1s that win you games. The confidence to maintain your map position. They now lead here by 3. Cherished gets the camel, but it will be a camel burn.
Frosty is 7-1 at the start of this game, by the way. 7-1. Might be 7-2 in a second if he's not careful. Here's the drop side to get back. A little bit closer to Tram, and now assigns his reticle towards the arcade side and the driveway. FaZe now slowing this down very, very smartly. They know they've earned this lead. They can earn the way and the pace that this game will be played at.
Red gun here for Frosty as well. We know what he's capable of, especially all it takes is one little ding of the rifle to change the tide of a battle. 12-15. I have to say, Pure have done well to keep this game close. And if we've learned anything from that last game, and to be honest, the entire series, nice double man push here up C steps, is that you cannot count Pure out of any game. They're tied at 15.
3 dead. Renegade was last alive. And Taulek is leading the charge for his team. 5-3 at the moment. Druk just behind him. 6-4 for him. And we are going to see a lead change. LastShot manages to find Renegade, who was, remember, the last alive of that previous wave. And now, all of a sudden, FaZe are finding themselves in somewhat of a blender here.
My
Another
God.
one for Taulek.
It was just 15 to 10, and now just like that, Pure has brought it back to 19 to 16. Let's get to a listen in here in game 5 with Pure.
They spawned right to play.
Ice cream around 2 shot.
They spawned right to Joey.
Nice.
Get out.
Live.
Get out.
Mid, might be it for me.
Camo soon, guys.
I'm blocking.
20 seconds. You ready yourself, Druk. You ready yourself.
Alright, let's pitch B. then.
Pitch B now. Red gun, 1 shot, B.
I got one.
Wait.
That's a dead. That's red gun. We gotta get this.
I'm naked mid.
You're red gun, Hunter.
No, I'm trying to get out.
Try to get out.
Watch out.
Camo, guys. Camo.
Pills are now.
Yo, guys, hit a link.
One shot.
Camo's up.
Okay, yeah, we're hitting B.
They have red gun and B. Red gun and B.
I'm looking arcade.
John.
Yo, one shot.
Driver John still?
Two cav.
No, I don't think I guess.
Two cafe right now. They're shooting.
Yo, middle camo, guys, middle camo. Bottom middle camo.
Somebody going tires.
Alright, heard that. I'm going back to middle.
Live.
He's gonna be honest. No, dead. B-step with kill. He's going B-step to Bureau. Trash.
Yo, I'm Ivy, guys. Watch out, Ivy. Watch out, Ivy roll 2. Watch out on the C roll 2, Druk. Can you look at that?
Camo was trash last scene.
Play to me.
Mid trash, man.
Druk, look at middle. Yo, 2 minutes. Back it out. Watch out, Druk. They might sweep.
I'm looking mid right now. I'm seeing B-step.
Alright, yo, Druk, I'm looking at middle. They have it on.
Red gun's gonna be up soon. Red gun's gonna be up soon.
I'm meeting him.
What a run this has been from Pure. 2 kills between the 2 teams, but it could not be closer. As now FaZe with that kill from SnakeBite bring this game to within just 1 kill.
And even with the 1 kill lead, you had a feeling on the comms there, they just don't have a full grip on the game just yet. You heard they were not set up for that camo. Frosty gets away with it bottom middle despite being 1 shot at B stairs. That was a big factor in FaZe staying close in this. However, we must say, Pure still leading here by 1. Oh! Not anymore.
So many players would have just surrendered their life in that position, but Renegade turns around and hits 2 massive shots to deal with LastShot. And even though the game is tied, Renegade versus Cherished is going to go the way of FaZe. But the immediate answer back comes again. This is just back and forth. You cannot get a lead of more than 1 or 2 in this game.
Could not have asked for a better series. Still tied here at 28 between these two, and just so evenly matched in every single game type so far. We're going to be tied at the midway part.
FaZe eke out a 1 kill advantage. Stalker rifle, though, is going to go into the hands of Pure. And you could hear from the listening, right? You could hear from the comms how much stress they were putting on the location of that Stalker rifle. Now that they have it, they can lane this camo, and FaZe will have to take damage.
Big wins from Royal 2, especially if he gets the second one as well, or is able to stay alive. Nicely done with the Shroud. However, the kills do come in, and most importantly, it's going to be Cherished with the camo. This, tournament in his hands here. How do they play this?
Frosty finds one onto LastShot as well. He is last alive momentarily. Rest of Pure now off the respawn. A player who is probably the least talked about on this main stage now has the chance to put his name up in lights. Royal 2 will fall. They spot him out though!
Renegade gets a perfect kill on the camo turning away. Beautifully done to neutralize that camo. Taulek stays alive for a second.
Frosty looking to clean up some of this damage. Druk will be taken down. Can he survive? No, LastShot's on the flank once more. Still, it is going to be FaZe who have eked out the biggest lead that we've seen in this game for quite some time. It's 3 kills in their favor.
Finally, maybe a moment to breathe for them. As you say, 36 to 33, could be even more. You have to assume Renegade doesn't want to take any chances. Love the nades that are coming in there. How beautifully is that done from Frosty? I think that was a heaven nade to make sure he took out the player on plants. Now they lead 37-33.
Cherish might not be able to eke out a kill here himself. Taulek and Druk will find 2. FaZe find themselves 2 dead. But the lead still stays intact, and now that lead really does become important. Now that lead really does mean something, as the deaths to play with on either side start to dwindle down.
Far from over, just still a 3-kill lead. FaZe knows it. Pure knows it's still within not just reasonable distance, but 1 wipe of Slays, and they're back in the lead.
Next camo could be the game. Next camo could be the game. 15 seconds till it comes up. If it goes the way of FaZe, then they should be able to close this game and series out. But if it goes the way of Pure and they pick up the kills around it, we could see yet another astronomical comeback from them in this series. 40 kills now for FaZe. SnakeBite will get that camo, and all of a sudden FaZe have come to life when it really matters. And it's SnakeBite who finds one. Look for the second onto Cherished. Royal 2 will clean it up, and it looks like FaZe have taken the lead and have taken momentum in this series at just the right time.
Now a 5-kill lead. Frosty's still with the red gun. It feels like he's had this the entire game, and unsurprisingly, he's 15-7 as a result. Also a very, very nicely done tactical camo grab from FaZe. You saw how that was grabbed with the Shroud. SnakeBite's able to put some kills on the board with it as well. And just like that, they get their 43rd.
And the nukes are coming in on that driveway from Pure. They've just thrown every single piece of utility they did have. Druk is going to fly in, doesn't get the kill though. LastShot's going to be trying to follow up on this damage. A lot of FaZe players are weak in the back of Tram here. All of them are going to fall in. 3 dead. Renegade is last alive, but where is he? He's on the driveway. And it's a 3-kill game. What a push that is for Pure.
Here they come.
The Swarm. Renegade though, he's got the frag grenade. Renegade with the frag. Gets one and removes the shields of another.
Gets taken down though. Traded out right away. Traded out right away. Somehow we're still 46-43. Pure is staying in this. Here they come, pushing out towards A. Big kills. 47 on the board. What a play from Renegade to bait out Red Room the way he did, even though he trades out with one of them. It's a 2-for-1 trade overall, leading now to a 47-43 game.
3 more needed here for FaZe to keep themselves alive in the tournament, to keep their hopes of defending their throne alive. Now it's 2, thanks to Renegade. Cherished, he's going to be 49. It's SnakeBite on your screen, who gets FaZe within 1 kill of keeping themselves in this elimination bracket and sending Pure home.
SnakeBite cool as ever on that kill, doesn't even trade. And now they're just 1 kill away, and you get the feeling it's just a matter of time here.
Attempted trade comes in from Taulek. It's not going to happen. Taulek somehow stays alive here. And even though he's got no shields, no one from FaZe is thinking about throwing this.
Take it
Renegade flies in.
He's going.
Druk! Wait! Gets the kill as well. Anyone to follow up on this damage? Frosty doesn't want to go. No one wants to go.
Camo's up, by the way. Camo is up. Let's see if there's a grab coming.
Wait a minute.
If Druk gets this.
Wait a minute. Druk! He gets the kill as well.
What is happening?
Oh my God. FaZe want this kill, but they cannot find it.
Did LastShot get camo? Where is this camo? He has camo at 47-49.
Oh
Unbelievable.
FaZe put themselves in a position where they can trade. They just want to play together. They're all trapped at the back of tower, back of PD.
Where's the help? What's the play
They're
call here?
waiting to see if they can eagle eye this camo. No nades here for LastShot. FaZe are going to try and take space as the camo dissipates. If Pure make this push, if Pure get the 4 dead without trading,
Just 3.
they will stay alive. They will knock FaZe out.
1 minute remaining.
60 seconds to make the play.
The most important lives and deaths of these players' careers on your screen right now. They cannot forfeit a single death.
And they know at some point they have to go. Cherished, damage. They're gonna have to play off this soon. They know that they don't want to be the last death. No one wants to be the last death in this situation. Frosty and FaZe know their job. Just trade. All they have to do. Frosty just holding down this P streak with this commando.
Whoa.
The shields are broken. They're trying to push on the Taulek here, but he's got the repulse. He's got the repulse, but can he survive? No! Royal 2 keeps FaZe alive.
Ooh, choice words from
And
Royal 2.
exchanges some words across that stage at Pure. FaZe still here, still alive, and still in a position to defend their world championships.
Renegade and Royal 2. They'll exchange some handshakes, but as you saw, they pointed in one direction, and it was off the stage. In the end, it's a 50-47 Game 5 between the two squads. And even though we saw late game camo coming into play, even though we saw Pure continuing an unbelievable run, it's FaZe who ices up and makes sure to close out game number 5 as they have done so many times before.
What a series. What an incredible, incredible series. And even though Pure are going to be absolutely heartbroken, shattered, they played their part in that series. And somehow some way, almost, in the most unlikely of circumstances in some of those games, kept their run going. But FaZe are FaZe for a reason. They are multiple-time champions for a reason. And it's because in the biggest games, when the lights shine brightest, the pressure simply does not get to them.
Look at this series layout. With the exception of game number 2, this could not have been closer. Unbelievable score lines and unbelievable stories that are coming out. How about even the final exchange? Taulek in B, ready with the repulse. Just in case anyone pushes music, he can repulse them back to tires, he can repulse them back to plants. It took a perfect two-man push from FaZe to wrap around music. One player goes B, one player goes from music, and Taulek still hits the repulse, which would have been perfect if it wasn't a perfectly timed push from FaZe to end the game. Down to the wire. That series had everything, and I feel so lucky to have casted it with you, and I'm so glad that it was our first match of the day. It was already an unforgettable one, and that's just match number 1.
Yeah, that's match number 1, and I mean, it was one thing for us to cast it, one thing for you to watch it at home or in the arena here in Seattle, but I want to know what it feels like to be a part of it. We've got Renegade down on our main stage now with Blaze.